rating is proving, despite losing 1 million viewers from last year, is that she has risen the entire league.
Caitlin Clark that they're mad about. Now they're pissed off because people are willing to pay up to see Caitlin Clark.
Like any other broadcast, it started a mainstay in women's basketball. Caitlin Clark held her microphone with assurance on the court. The Indiana Fever had concluded a difficult game. Typically poetic and perceptive, Caitlin started her post-game remarks. While the audience hummed and the cameras rolled, it took place. A tall, familiar figure emerged from the edge of the picture. Before we go, Larry Bird, I have a tiny favor to ask of you. Please take a moment to like this content if you enjoy it. Watch this video and become a channel subscriber. For more than 98% of you watch the videos without signing up. It doesn't cost you anything. However, it has a significant impact on us. Did you click the subscribe button? Then, fantastic, many thanks for it. Let's return to the video now. The guy who epitomized toughness, perseverance, and basketball brilliance was an Indiana native and Celtics star. For a whole generation, no one anticipated his presence. He was not introduced by an announcer earlier, no cameras had captured him in the throng, but all of a sudden there he was, tall, calm, renowned. Silently, he moved forward and, without saying anything, he reached out and gently took the microphone from Caitlin Clark's grasp. The whole arena went cold. Commentators fell silent, fans held their breath, as Caitlin stepped back, stunned and wide-eyed. Her face were marked with a mixture of shock and incredulity. Larry Bird didn't say, "Pardon me." He didn't request authorization. He has just begun to speak. He paused to point in Caitlin's direction and said, "This chick is the real deal."
It's football season and waiting for football that Caitlin Clark has become a leading source of content.
The audience erupted. He clutched the microphone firmly and purposefully, just like he used to hold the ball. The script was absent. Sincere feelings from a legend who seldom ever talks in public anymore. No PR filter. I've been observing this game for. Bird persisted for decades, and while I've witnessed a variety of players come and go, occasionally one emerges who completely transforms the game. He looked over at Caitlin. She's changing the culture, not just the numbers.
Were flying before she arrived on one of those airlines that made you pay for a cup of water.
There was a tremendous applause. Everyone was standing. There were more phones. Caitlin Clark's expression changed from surprise to disbelief as cameras focused on her face. Next, humility. Perhaps. She had the appearance of someone who had grown up loving legends like Bird, and just now, he was passing the torch in public. Larry wasn't finished. People used to claim that women's basketball didn't matter. He continued. It wasn't exciting. They claimed that no one observed. Look around. Then. He gestured to the packed arena. Fans wearing shirts with signs that said, "Clark is a GOAT."
Packed. So those all-star ratings, the merchandise sales explosion, the ticket sale explosion, the TV rating increases.
The all-star ratings, the surge in goods sales, the explosion in ticket sales, and the rise in TV ratings all have an impact. And more to families who had traveled for hours only to see her. Now they observe. Then he said something that would be shown for decades in highlight reels. She's doing what I attempted to do in the 1980s. Make the game indisputable. It makes no difference if you're a man or a woman. You respect what she's doing if you're a hoops fan.
Is proving, despite losing 1 million viewers from last year, is that she has risen the entire league.
A pause occurred. He then returned the microphone to Caitlin. No formalities, just an apology for interrupting. He retreated down the tunnel as softly as he had arrived, receiving a standing ovation from the audience. What about Caitlin? She remained still for a while. She took a deep breath and blinked. Then she grinned. Genuine, even with tears. "All right," she muttered into the microphone, her voice faltering a little. "That recently occurred, though." The audience chuckled and applauded once more. I'm at a loss for words at the moment. Larry Bird just hijacked my interview. And to be honest, I think that was the coolest thing I've ever experienced. In a matter of minutes, the internet exploded. Momentary clips predominated. All platforms, including YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, headlines like, "Larry Bird stuns Caitlin Clark," "Shout. Basketball royalty unites as Larry crowns Caitlin in a live TV mic takeover." Both fans and analysts talked about the significance of Bird's claims, analyzing each sentence as if it were scripture. However, Caitlin Clark, the meaning was clear. One of the best ever had just validated her. Shares and disperses the basketball in anticipation.
Exciting way, and all of a sudden there's a momentum behind her and the league has relevance.
The backlash continued unabated in the days that followed. The tape was shown on loop by ESPN. Ex-players expressed their excitement on Twitter. Shaq claimed that it made him shiver. It was a fantastic passing of the torch moment, according to Magic Johnson. Additionally, Diana Taurasi tweeted a single message, respect, after previously dismissing the craze surrounding Caitlyn, what further enhanced the event. Larry Bird's history of silence was striking. He has never been interested in pursuing cameras. He is seldom ever seen during WNBA games. Nevertheless, he was expressing his adoration without any coercion or objective. Later, reporters stated that Bird had requested that there be no media coverage of his visit. He didn't want it to be a joke. He merely wished to convey his veracity, and that's why it struck so forcefully. Caitlin Clark was doing more than just scoring points. She was having second thoughts, transforming people's hearts and drawing attention to a league that had long struggled for respect.
So, it doesn't do as well without her. Yeah, and tournaments without Tiger didn't do as well, but the whole sport was elevated.
The last remnant was shattered by the fact that someone like Larry Bird would formally support Hillary. Worries that millions of people have. The following day, Caitlyn was still clearly smiling during an interview. She said, "I don't think I'll ever get over that moment. That's Larry Bird, for example. I grew up with his posters. Bedroom growing up, my father made me watch old Celtics games, and for him to simply walk up and say those things." She hesitated. "That will always stick in my memory. The season would be defined by that one moment. For supporters, it became a rallying cry of sports for women. They printed shirts and memes were created. The WNBA and NBA started a joint advertisement with the phrase, 'Game recognizes game,' superimposed on the video. Sales of tickets surged once more for Fever games in Indiana. 3 more sizes of Caitlyn's already popular tee were sold out. Even lifelong critics of the WNBA began tuned in.
Caitlin Clark's gotten really good really fast. It's like the end of year 1 for Michael Jordan or year 3 for Michael Jordan. She's gotten really good.
Because perhaps they should be paying attention if Larry Bird was, and for Larry, he vanished once more. No press trip, no interviews, just gone. However, that was Larry Bird. He never needed a microphone to create sound. He simply showed there, said what had to be said, and left. However, his remarks continued to reverberate. "She is changing the culture." These 4 phrases were used as a mantra in Nike advertisements and murals worn during league-wide player warm-ups. Furthermore, Caitlyn refused to let anything alter who she was. If anything, it gave her more energy. Her level of skill increased, because she was no longer merely demonstrating, she played with greater assurance, intensity, and joy. Anything to the world. She carried a legacy with her, and weeks later, following yet another double-double, when questioned about it, she was questioned about the Larry Bird moment once more after making another crucial three-pointer. She grinned. It remained surreal. She said, "However, I believe his actions weren't only motivated by me. Everyone who has ever been undervalued was the focus of the story. Every female who has been told that her sport is irrelevant. That day, he granted each of us a somewhat louder voice." Additionally, the
merch sales are up 500% and attendance is up, 40%. So they're going to get a raise. There's no question. And you got to put a body on her, or you got to double team her, or she's going to embarrass you. She's shooting 33-footers.
Perhaps that's why it struck such a deep chord. It was more than just a mic drop. It was a move that said, "Mic lift. You are a part of it. She will embarrass you if you don't put a body on her or double team her." She's making 33-foot shots. Thus, something appeared to be different when Caitlyn returned to the court for the following game. The audience grew slightly taller. The lights shone a bit more brightly. Furthermore, it seemed like more than just a game, since Larry Bird didn't just get a microphone that evening. The future was given to him.